In the last video, we looked at how to graph the exponential function. F of x, or y in this case, is equal to 2 raised to the x power. And so using an xy table, we replaced different replacement values from -3 to +3. We were able to plot some points and see what an exponential equation looks like. It's this curve here. Well, now what we would want to do is do the inverse of that. What does the inverse of an exponential equation look like? And to do an inverse, all you have to do is replace your x's and your y's. So in this case, where I see a y, I'll put an x, and where I see an x, I'll put a y. So in this case, now we have x is equal to 2 raised to the y power. And let's be a little strategic about how we do our xy table from here. The table for our blue function looks like this. And so when we're doing the inverse, all we really need to do is switch our x's and our y's. So whatever is in this side of the table now goes over here. -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's what we had in our first group. And since we are reversing them, we're inverting them, then, well, basically 2 to the -3 power is 1/8, and so on down the line. They would be these values over here now would be our x values. So that would be 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. And so to graph this, to graph the inverse of our exponential function, we'll just plot these points. Let's start with our positive values because they're easy to do. When x is 1, then y is 0, so I have a point right there. When x is 2, y is 1, so I have 1, 2, and then a 1 here. When x is 4, y is 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 there, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I go up 1, 2, 3 there, and 16, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And I would go up 4, 1, 2, 3. I'd have a point there. And then the same thing for my little values going down the y-axis. At 1/2, I'm at -1. So I have a -1/2. I have a 1/2 and a -1, and so on. I get smaller and smaller, approaching but never quite reaching my y-axis. It's got its asymptote there. So again, the inverse is a curve, and it looks a little bit like this, right? And if you notice, I have, if I were to draw the line, see this one here, this curve is x is equal to 2y. It's the inverse of that one. And if I were to draw the line that y is equal to x, that acts like a line of reflection, right? I reflect along that point, along this line here, so that every point here is the exact opposite there, right? This one is 2, 4, 4, 2, while this one is 2, 4. Here we have 4, 2. Here we have 2, 4. So the inverse of an exponential function looks like this red curve here, while the exponential function looks like the blue curve here. The exponential function will approach 0 on the x-axis, but never reach it. The exponential function, the inverse, will approach 0 on the y-axis, but also never reach that.